Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Spartan podcast. We are your hosts,
Anna, and I'm your club president.
and Hernan, I'm your club vice president. And thank you guys for an awesome first episode so far.
As we are recording this, we currently have over 130 views on our first episode, and we want to thank everyone for supporting, and we hope you enjoy this new episode.
Let's get talking.
Hello, I'm Spartan Sports newscaster Bradley Clark, and today I'm here with Winthrop boys basketball co-captain, senior Wilson Montero, who recently brought home Winthrop's 4th championship of the year. Tell me about that experience, Wilson.
It was a pretty tough final game of the Winthrop Invite. The first one was pretty easy. We played Patel. We beat him by 45.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
Thank you. And the second game, we won by 20, but at the start, it was a struggle because it was a close game until the end of the first half. And then we took the lead.
What was said in that halftime that really boosted your team up and gave them the spirit to move on and push forward and win the game?
Since that was the final game of the season, Coach Bromeyer kept talking about how this is going to leave a legacy on Winthrop College Prep.
Speaking of that legacy, what legacy do you want to leave on at this school?
I just want to be known as a friendly face, a good team captain. I want all the young players to take control and try their hardest.
What are you looking for those young players next season? What do you expect from them?
I expect just hard work, hustle, just get stronger in basketball and their body so they can be right for the next season.
Speaking of those players, who do you think are some of those key players that led to your performance and your win in the finals?
Definitely Kai Brookins and Jason Johnson. Both young players, one a junior, Jason a junior, and Kai a sophomore. Averaging 20 points, and Jason was averaging a double-double.
Very impressive. Spartans across the school, thank you for your effort and your time that you put in the basketball team. Thank you, Wilson, for this interview, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to Outside These Doors Part 2 for Episode 2. I'm here with
Daniel.
And we're your hosts, Anna and
Hernan.
So, if you guys didn't know, we have top 10 in the world archery students that go here. What? That's crazy to me. So, tell me about archery. What's that like for you?
Well, it's definitely a different sport. Not a lot of people do it. It's not very open right now. Not a lot of people do it, but it's starting to open up to more and more people. There's definitely very, very competitive groups. You've got championships, you got flights, and you've got cadet, young adult male, which is what I'm shooting in.
Wow.
And how'd you get into archery?
Well, right before COVID, I'd say my dad was trying to get me into sports. So this was probably when I was in 5th grade. And I just picked up archery. There's actually a range that we went to for lessons on 301.
Wow.
Adventures Archery.
And then from there on, you started loving it, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but then COVID hit, so we stopped going, I want to say 3 years later, 2023. Then I asked my parents if I could get back into it, and then we met a coach, and then we got really engaged into it.
That's good. So how often do you practice?
I try to go about 7 days a week, but I'll actually usually end up going 5 days a week.
That's wow. So is there anything crazy big about being top 10 in the world? How's that feel to you to be top 10 in the world?
Well, actually, when you get that good, there's colleges that'll reach out, and there's people who will pay for those full tuitions. Someone that shot in the same place as me in Easton, they got a full-way scholarship to Columbia. Their MIT's looking for people to shoot for their team. Harvard actually has a recurve team, and any school, surprisingly, you can probably find a team that they're looking to hire people with.
Have you gotten any offers from these schools?
I've got one from MIT, and I went to an event where 8 colleges reached out to pay full way and pay for my equipment.
Is there anything that you get you want students to know about archery, or just a message for them?
It's not really a hard sport. I feel like getting fully engaged and immersed in it, actually putting down time to go shoot is probably the hardest part. And it's not really a hard sport. It just needs more people to it.
You're top 10 in archery in the world, right?
Yeah.
You know, how does it personally feel? Do you know, like, does it change your mood at all to just be top 10? I mean, I know
Like
it
out of
probably
like
changed
the
my
80
mood.
point something billion people in the world, like you're in the top 10 of those.
Not really. I'm not going for competition. I'm going more of enjoyment out of the sport, meeting new people, seeing all these opportunities like these colleges. That's really about it.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
passionate, you know. You're a humble man, right? That's awesome.
So that's a wrap for this Outside These Doors segment. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you stay tuned. If you have any ideas of kids who have done like really cool things outside these doors of Winthrop, comment them down below and we'll try our best to get them on this segment. But for now, we're signing out. Bye, guys.
See ya. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Senior Spotlight. Today we have...
Hi everybody, my name is Yanah.
And we are your hosts,
Kim Johnson.
and Hernan. Okay. So, Yanah, how was your day today?
My day's been pretty good, you know. Nothing amazing, but you know, it's a good day.
Okay, I mean, anything notable happened? I mean...
Not really, I took
Not
tests,
really,
and
just
that's about
tests.
it.
Oh, I took a ton of tests too today. I don't know what happened today. Everyone just started to give a test.
What are some of your biggest accomplishments?
So, well, of course, some of my biggest accomplishments are, of course, being senior vice president. That's pretty fun. I'm also an ambassador at school, and I was on the cheer team. And out of school, you know, I still have a job at Crumble Cookies, so get your cookies. And I do some modeling here and there, so probably those are my biggest accomplishments.
I have a friend who models.
What are some of your highs in high school so far?
Well, some of my highs in high school is just building community, because you know, you go to school every day, you see the same people every day, and there's clubs too, so I like to meet new people, make new friendships, and just build that community that you surround yourself with constantly.
Well, you said you like to model, right? Is that something that you really plan on doing after high school?
Yeah, actually, I mean, right now I mainly do runway modeling, so I would definitely love to continue doing that.
What's that?
You know, you walk the runway.
Oh, that's
Yeah, and you
cool.
represent different designers. It's pretty cool.
What do you plan on studying later? Do you plan on studying anything after high school?
Yes, so right now after high school, I plan on studying political science.
Political science?
Mhm.
And what is political science?
Political science is, you know, sorry.
I don't know.
You like study politics. I'm sorry. Yeah. You study politics.
Study of politics?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much known for a lot of politicians come from studying politics. Although I do not want to be a politician, I could still like work in that department or even like the government, you know, just stuff like that.
But yeah, something like that sounds like it would help out a lot, you know, especially like putting that maybe on your job resume.
Yes.
You know, right? They'll really want to pick you if, you know, if they ever really need someone who has studied politics before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to say to the students of Winthrop or anyone out there?
Yes. If you could believe it, you can achieve it.
I love that. That's passionate. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Real Talk, Real People. Today we have
Mr. Vincent.
and we are your hosts,
Jakeem.
and Hernan, your club vice president. So, Mr. Vincent, what would you say? First of all, how's your day today, Mr. Vincent?
Today was pretty typical.
Pretty
Pretty
typical.
typical day.
Anything notable happen?
Notable? No, it was just a pretty typical day, really.
Okay, no, yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. So, Mr. Vincent, what's your role at this school?
My role is I'm the dean of students.
Dean of students, and
Mhm.
what does that like typically involve?
Typically, it involves discipline of the students and the safety and security of the school as a whole, but mostly discipline of the students.
And so how long have you been doing this for?
This is my first year, but
first
I've
year.
been at Winthrop for 4 years because I was a teacher before that.
You're a teacher, and what'd you teach?
US and AP US history.
So, what is your most funniest experience at this school?
Funniest experience at this school was probably watching and seeing all the reaction of when my son became a substitute here and how much we look alike. And it just it really freaked a lot of the students out because they couldn't believe how much we looked alike. One actually even accused me she walked up and looked at me and looked at my son and she goes, "Wow, Mr. Vincent, copy and paste." And then she just kind of walked away. So that was pretty funny. I guess you had to be there, but it was pretty funny.
Oh, when was this?
This was last year.
Last year, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never heard of it. I mean, I was here last year, but I never heard of that. Mr. Vincent, so I want to get to know more about you.
Okay.
What is something that, you're really passionate about, like outside of school?
Well, outside of school even though I was a history teacher, I still love history. I read history constantly, but mainly football. I watch football constantly. I coached football for years, and I just love the game of football.
You coached football for years?
Yeah, for several years, actually, yeah.
And what team were you coaching?
Well, I started out coaching before I joined the Army years ago at Hillsborough High School here in Hillsborough County. And then once I joined the Army, I coached at a couple of different places where my son played, one in Virginia, one in Kansas, and then I coached across town here in Riverview at Bell Creek. But, we're not going to talk about them, so sorry.
Yeah. Anything to say?
Yeah. So, what was your who was the most influential person in your life?
In my life? Oh, that's easy. That was my grandfather. Oh, yeah, my grandfather. He was a World War II vet, 4 Bronze Stars in World War II, came home, used the GI Bill to go and get his engineering certificates and became a railroad engineer. So, yeah, easily my grandfather.
Do you have any like cool stories to tell about your time with your grandfather?
My grandfather, he was old school. He was a World War II veteran, so he was that greatest generation kind of person.
Yeah.
So funny stories with him are things you probably wouldn't find funny today, and I'll just kind of leave it at that because that was a different generation. So we'll just leave that one at that one because, yeah, what I would find funny is probably not what you guys would find funny, and definitely not what he thinks is funny.
No, yeah.
Because he's a whole other generation.
Yeah, the generations tend to differ a lot in humor,
Yeah. He passed away before you guys were born, so.
Well, Mr. Vincent, is there anything you want to get off your mind about anything, school related? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Anything you want to just get off your mind?
We don't have time for that, but no, it's just simple. If I had anything to say to the students, it would basically be, this is high school, enjoy it, come in, do the right thing. Do the right thing, your day will go a whole lot easier.
What's something that you would like to tell every student at the school?
Something I would tell every student at this school. Understand that high school should be fun, but it's also a lot of work. And also understand you're not in middle school anymore, you're not in elementary school anymore, you're in high school. This is where it starts counting for real. Everything you do, everything that goes on your record from here on out, whether it's discipline or grades, test scores, it all matters starting now. Everything before was a warm-up, but this is your first warm-up to real life. Because these 4 years will go by fast. And you don't want to make mistakes here that are going to affect you later.
I feel that because 3 years ago, I was freshman at this school, 3 years ago, it feels like time just went by so fast. And, there's a lot to account for too, I'm just barely realizing it, with scholarships, and where am I going to go, what college I'm going to go to, and it has, as an underclassman, you just don't really see it at all. But then, once you start getting to your junior year, you start realizing oh crap, I gotta take all this into account,
It's true, and sometimes it might be, it's never too late, but you just don't want things you've done as a freshman to affect you when you're a senior. You don't want to have to look back on that way. You want to look back on it having done the right thing, and nobody can say anything to you except that you did the right thing.
You're in the Army, Mr. Vincent?
23 years worth.
23 years. That's a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Only 2 decades.
And then some.
I mean, like we have a lot of students here that actually do want to enroll in the Army. Would you say you have like any advice for them?
Well, I get that question a lot from students, and I always have as soon as I started teaching. And what I tell all of them is, one, I don't recruit for the Army. That's not my job. I don't recruit for the Army. That's a very personal, very important, life-changing decision that should be made with all the facts, all the homework, and consultation with their family, not consultation with me. I will answer their questions honestly, but it's a very personal, hard decision that their families need to make with them. But the advice I give is of course I'm biased towards the Army. I mean, let's just be real. Okay. But I always tell them, find the branch. If the military is what you want, find the branch that's going to set you up and give you the things that you want for after the military. Because I'm living proof the military don't last forever. Right. I was in 23 years, and that's a long time, but sometime you're going to get out. So if you want to be a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, find the branch that has the best programs for what you want to do. Don't just pick one because it looked cool in the commercials. But but like I said, it's a very personal decision to be made between the student and their family.
Right. Because sometimes whenever you get into something new, that feeling that like because you're doing it because it's cool, it never lasts, right? So would you say you have to look at it more like really long term? Am I really going to be invested?
I would, because it's like I said, it's a very life altering decision. You leave home, you go somewhere else, and you might not return to where your parents are, where your family is for years at a time. So it's a very personal decision that needs to be made between the individual and their families, because their families are involved too. People just think, oh, I'm joining the military. No, mom and dad joins with you. They don't go to where you go, but they're watching you get on the plane or the bus and go wherever you're going, and they're going to miss you like you're going to miss home. So it's not a decision that should ever be made lightly.
Right. Well, Mr. Vincent, thank you for your time.
Not a problem.
Right. And also, thank you for serving us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
2 decades is a lot.
All right. Thank you.
And anyways, that was it for this week's segment of Real Talk, Real People. I'm your host, Hernan.
And Jakeem.
And we'll see you next time. See ya.
Welcome back to One Thought Rants. I'm your host, Sean, and I will be reading an anonymous submission about how people are fake in school. The fabulous fakery of school life. Oh, fake people, what a fascinating topic. It's truly amazing how some individuals possess the incredible thing to perfectly embody the essence of authenticity and genuineness. Their acting skills should be recognized by Hollywood. From their flawless smiles to their impeccable conversations, these individuals have truly mastered the art of fakeness. It's like being in a real-life theater production every day. But hey, let's not forget the valuable life lessons they teach us. From spot a fake smile to navigate through a sea of insincerity. Truly, they're the unsung heroes of our school experience. Well, that's it for today's rant. Once again, I'm your host, Sean, and have a good day.
Spartan News. Spartan News. Sipping on tea of the school. Another breaking story get approved. Turn it up, watch the story move. Represent the blue and the gold. Knowing it's the story we control. Our show, this is how it rolls. Interviews and cameos. We got students making more than honor roll. We got students earning student of the week. We got teachers getting teacher of the month. All in the WCP. These people got on their G. They excelled, exceeded the average C. You can tell they work hard like Mr. Clean. Run and tell, it's more than just A's and B's. You can fail, it's gonna be another week. Let's go, yeah, we cannot do it if we just prepare. Spring break is coming, no time to despair. Then we can swim in the ocean like whales. You know what I'm saying? Growth mindset over a fixed mindset. Every day, baby. Teachers teach, students learn, but your efforts show the truth though. Responsibility through the roof though. iPad on me like a cell phone. 11th grade, toughest year. One more till you cross that stage, yeah. Then it's life, no pretend though. College or a couple bills, folks. Spartan news for my kin folks. Volume 2, there will be more. I'm a student, so I keep a bunch of grimo. I hope you students got the memo. Photos hanging out my book bag. New zeros in my power school part and news. Sipping on tea of the school. Another breaking story get approved. Turn it up, watch the story move. Represent the blue and the gold. Knowing it's a story we control. Our show, this is how I roll. Interviews and cameos.